Hey, hey, hey. Hi, everybody. I made it. It's day 7. It's funny how doing 7 days in a row of, if you didn't hear, my name is Jodi Ambini. If you happen to be seeing me because somebody just shared this, I want to invite you guys to join in on this. If you missed any of February 1st through the 6th, what I've been doing, and I will continue to do the rest of the month for 29 days is I'm doing a money minute is what I'm calling it. If you guys are joining live, say hello. If you're joining afterwards, say hello or hashtag replay hello. Hi, Emerald. Great to see you. Hey, hey, hey. Let me know what your weather is like and where you're joining from. And I would love to know. I'm taking questions because I've been thinking of different things, and oh, thank you. Yeah, this is I don't think they have anymore, but it's an online, boutique called Blue Waters, and they actually made this one. It was kinda going viral, but they made their own one with a hood. It's raining today, so, yeah, she said I have a great sweater and it's snowing. Wow. Yeah, we've had a lot of rain, so I switched, what I was wearing. I actually even had a hat on earlier, but, I just took the hat off. So, because it stopped raining, and so I'm getting ready to run in somewhere. But what I wanted to share really quick with you guys is if you guys did miss it, you can go back into Financial Freedom group, and I have all of them, or wherever you're watching this, all of them are on there. Just a little trick. I know we're also on YouTube. Hello, my YouTubers, and let us know that you're watching too, and comment in here. I'll go back and say hello. I love to say hello to you guys. So if you're watching, just say hey. I just love to say hello. So yesterday, matter of fact, it's kind of crazy. If you didn't see, I did a little. There is a song that Toby Keith sang that is called "Let the Old Man." Don't let the old man in, and huge Toby Keith fan. I've seen him. Matter of fact, it was like me and my husband's first country concert we ever went to in kind of near Marysville in outside of Rockland area. And I just felt like the song, I started to know that I had certain things in my camera and videos and things. I Holy cow. Continue to share it because it seems like it's bringing people they're enjoying it, and I just what's really funny is some of it was actually taken in Tennessee and in different places, quite a bit of it when you see me driving, I'm on back of the motorcycle with my husband, and, yeah, he was a, um I share if you guys wanna go over to my reels or on my page on, Facebook or Instagram, but on Facebook, I had many people ask me because I shared about an interview I watched with his local Oklahoma Channel 9, and they actually put the whole interview up, and, I shared it in there, but he shares about his faith. It just was really encouraging. I happened to see it, um, before he passed, but it just truly reminds you to it reminded me of 2 things, both how important it is to enjoy every moment, but how important it really is to plan things, and, being on this side of, 28 years I think the first time I ever had somebody come in, and I was working in the bank, and I can't tell you how many times I've worked with people or had people calling me or showing up, and the person I worked with or the client or their spouse or their parent, whoever the accounts at the time, I was helping with, or if I knew them, and they didn't know where to get everything. I've had people crying, not realizing that they didn't do the things they thought they did. So I gave a tip yesterday, but as I always pray and I'm like, God, what do you want me to share today? And I felt like he wanted me to add on a little bit and share a few things to do. So, one of the things I would highly encourage, because I've seen it happen both ways, where so when I was 18, my dad died suddenly. And my dad was pretty organized and he was very, very adamant about having life insurance. And I never knew Advance Forward when I first started working as a financial advisor. They're like, "What's your story?" And I didn't even know my story was I was a life insurance and like success story because my mom was able to stay in the home. My dad was the one that made the most money, all of those things. But when he did pass and we were down in Southern California, we had to come back to Northern California. I remember my mom had to kind of look for the paperwork, look for the life insurance, look for that all. Well, now advances, I've helped thousands and thousands of people through the years. A couple of my tips would be is give those people so if you have somebody as a successor trustee on your trust, if something happens to you or they are the beneficiary or they are on the, what do you call it, the person that's supposed to handle things with a will. Here in California, I don't know how other places work, but in California, a will still has to go to probate. And so I'm not a huge fan of that because you have to put a whole bunch of stuff in the newspaper. You have to wait and things aren't liquid. And when I've worked with accounts, when you're made aware that it is that, all counts are frozen. So I like a trust because it's a living trust, but I've been on several people's trust and I'm like, you have to mail me your trust. I need to know all the accounts. I need to know everything. So if you have anybody that's a successor trustee, make sure you've mailed them, or nowadays you can upload it. It can be in a Google Drive doc or something, but make sure you have that. Make sure you have a letter written out, but preferably hand sign and date anything. And even if you have somebody else sign and date it witnessing you, and two witnesses, so that will hold up. But have any of the things that need to be liquidated. If you own your car and you have the car notes, if you own your house outright and you have the home, if you have any kind of life insurance, if you have a 401k, have a little thing that you have in one place, and the person that would people that would step in, you want to have at least three because you just never know. I really hesitated talking about these things because I was like, people, when you've been in my industry, you see a lot. And I've had like the husband and the wife and the next in line all be on an airplane together, all be somewhere together. So I've had that happen many times. So I would say to have a couple of different backups that knew that you trust. Of course, trust them. But here's the thing, and I told you guys yesterday about beneficiaries. And many, many times, I can't tell you how many times I have seen somebody get divorced and they never took their ex-wife off of their pensions, their 401ks, all the things. They're remarried, and depending on the state you live in, it can look a little different. In the state of California, it does go by whoever, when you're married, then it's common law. But I've seen so many court cases, so many things draw out for a really, really long time. I mean, I could tell you story after story. I've actually even gone into court and testified on things. So invest the money, like to have a trust or something, um, is, I think, a really great thing. But if you whether you have it or not, you wanna have everything in one place, make a snapshot or even have a letter that says where people know, and that letter gives instructions of everything to do. One of I was thinking of a couple of beautiful stories that I know of, and I have, a client that, and we actually, as a financial advisor, I would try to have these hard conversations with people, because I've seen it so many times, and I took it really personal that if I wanted to know when somebody's loved one came in and was crying and like, "Why didn't you tell my parent this that I or my person this or whoever had passed it?" I knew I told them. So if they wanted to do it, they had the choice to do it. And it's not comfortable. And a lot of financial advisors don't talk about this part because I've had many, many people cry in my office with me because it's not a fun thing to talk about. But I wanted a couple of my clients that they knew that they wanted to have a certain people take care of their kids, and then another person would manage all the money for the kids if it happened while their kids were alive. And a couple of other things, and they wrote them all letters because I said to them, okay, if you're not going to tell these people, you need to write each of them letters so they all have it and you're sharing everything and they're seeing your words. So I would include it. And my husband's dad did that for him and his sisters. And I saw them, try not to cry because it is a really emotional topic. And when you have seen it at the level I've seen it with thousands of people, probably hundreds that have passed, but sometimes they're the one walking through it with someone else, and that their person didn't tell them to do what I'm mentioning here. But when my husband's dad went home to heaven, I all they all opened up these envelopes in it, and it was from their dad, and they were all crying, and it was really special. But there's something of hearing it and knowing it's from get a document notarized, pay for a notary, they're like 25 bucks. Have um, a mobile notary so it's official, so that there's no doubt of what your wishes are if you don't have a trust or you don't have a will. And those are kind of my big tips, is to have it all in one place, though, everything that you have. I have a 401k, I have a pension, here's all the the statements, because the professional people can help you when there's statements. If you had any life insurance, even through your work, like you can just have a pay stub. The top part of it will normally show details. Those are my tips. Oh my gosh, this is way over. This is way over the minutes today. So there's my tip. Have a great day. I'll be back tomorrow.